Judge, this is the case of the Walkers.
Thank you. You all may be seated. Mr. Walker, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Thank you, Your Honor. For the past year, I have been paying child support to my ex-wife, Jennifer. Currently, our daughter is in my mother's custody, and I'm bringing this case.
Wait. Why is your daughter in your mother's custody?
So she was initially in my custody, but before this year, I was a teacher, and I got promoted to principal. But I'm now working at a school that's on the other side of town. I wanted to make sure that my daughter stayed in the school that she's in because she has been there for the past 4 years. And I wanted to make sure that, well, she's been in that district for the past 4 years, and I wanted to keep her development because I agree with the education plan that they have there. So I took the job because it was more money and it was a better career for me. And
More money, so should you be paying more in child support then? If
Well,
you're making more money?
Well, I think that I should be paying my mother the child support. Currently, I'm paying my ex-wife the child support, and I have no idea where those funds are going.
How much do you pay in child support?
$500 a month.
Okay. Continue.
And so she's in my mother's custody right now. My mother is retired. We had the conversation. We had an amicable conversation about my daughter living with my mother because she is retired. She worked for the city of Dallas for 28 years.
She worked?
Ma'am, we do not need the extra. My bailiff, Mr. A.K.A. Fuller, he will make sure that you're escorted out of this courtroom if you cannot control yourself. Understood?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. You may continue.
So ultimately, the main goal of this case is that I want to move the child support from my ex-wife and then start paying
Rightfully so. There's no reason she should still be getting any type of child support payments. Ma'am, Ms. Walker, have you been reallocating these payments that you're receiving from Mr. Walker to his mother?
Yes, Your Honor. I have receipts. I have everything. I've been taking care of my child.
What type of receipts are you talking about?
Receipts for me buying her food, clothes,
Okay,
shoes.
that's called parenting. That's not child support.
Well, I'm using his money for the kid
But the child does not live with you, correct?
because of him.
That wasn't my question. The child does not live with you, correct?
Yes, that's correct, Judge.
Okay. Where is it that you are working right now?
Right now, I am an office manager at Walker's Dentistry.
Office manager? Okay.
The courtroom opens with Ms. Stone, a woman who has unexpectedly found herself as the primary caregiver for her 4-year-old niece, Karina. 6 months ago, her twin sister, Christina, left Karina in her care, claiming she was making a quick trip to the store, only to vanish without a trace. Since then, Ms. Stone has taken full responsibility, juggling the needs of 3 children while ensuring Karina receives the care she needs. Tired of playing the role of an unpaid guardian, she's here today to demand child support. Tension rises when Ms. Stone explains that Karina has been battling health issues, requiring constant medical attention. As she speaks, Christina smirks, drawing an immediate rebuke from Judge Vonda B. There will be no laughing in this courtroom, she warns. The gravity of the situation is clear. This isn't a minor family dispute, it's a serious legal matter. One sister has stepped up as a parent while the other walked away. Now, it's time for accountability. Christina's attitude remains dismissive, openly expressing frustration about being summoned to court. But Judge Vonda reminds her of the facts. For half a year, Karina has been left without financial or emotional support from her mother. No calls, no visits, no contributions. Ms. Stone has done everything, and Christina's complaints fall flat. Her excuse? She claims life has been overwhelming since Karina's father went to prison. But the judge doesn't budge. Family ties don't erase legal responsibilities. Karina's father, incarcerated due to drug-related offenses, was notified of the proceedings but remains absent. However, the court still holds Christina accountable. When she claims she wants her daughter back, the judge quickly shuts her down. You never had legal custody, she reminds Christina.
That's what I do, Judge. I'm an office manager right now.
Okay. And how much is it that you make a year?
Maybe about $70,000.
$70,000. Okay.
And I'm also a single mother.
Okay. Well, congratulations. There are a lot of single mothers in this world. So that's not information that we need in terms of calculating child support, okay? How many children do you have?
I have a total of 3. I have 1 with Mr. Walker, and I have 2 with my previous husband.
Okay. All right. Continue. What is your
everything was-
reason for this child living with his mother and you're receiving child support payments? And according to your testimony, you're giving the money to his mother. Is that correct information? Is she giving the money to your mother?
That is incorrect, Your Honor.
Okay. Is your mother here today?
She is not. My daughter's actually home sick with the flu. So she's at home with my mother right now.
Okay.
Judge, our daughter Kayla was living with me, and Blaine decided to come get her on the weekends. You know, everything was perfectly fine. She was getting along with the other kids in the house. So when Blaine started to come pick her up, and by the time he dropped her off, she would become so angry. She was fighting the other two kids. So I don't know if he was telling her things, but she would come back very...
Ma'am, that's more
So-
information than what I need.
Okay.
The bottom line is this. The child does not live with either of you, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
And you're paying child support currently, but to Ms. Walker.
Correct.
And Ms. Walker, you are not paying child support at all.
No,
Correct.
ma'am, I'm not.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do. You said you make $70,000 a year. Does that include any overtime or anything?
That includes overtime. Yes, it does.
Okay, so I have your gross at $5,833.33. Now, after taxes are taken out, that comes down to $4,625.06. Who pays health insurance for the child?
Blaine
I do,
does.
Your Honor.
Okay, how much is health insurance?
For the past year, I've been paying $50 a month.
Okay, how often are you paid?
I get paid once a month.
So $25 a month, okay. And then you said you have 2 other children
And I
one
pay
child.
mortgage and car note. And
Ma'am, he has the same expenses. That means nothing to me. Ms. Walker, your child support is going to be set at $707.28. That includes the $682.28 for child support and $25 for health insurance. Mr. Walker, your $500 payments will be reallocated to your mother. And as I stated, Ms. Walker, that $707.28 will go directly to his mother as well, since that is who the child is living with. Am I right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, is there anything else from either of you? If nothing further, you all are dismissed. Thank you.
Ms. Stone has been Karina's de facto guardian, providing stability and care, something Christina failed to do. In a last-ditch effort, Christina suggests taking Karina back just to avoid paying support. But the judge sees through the ploy. Parenting isn't a part-time job you can pick up when it's convenient. Ms. Stone has been covering all expenses, from doctor visits to daily needs, while Christina remained absent. That neglect, both financial and emotional, comes with consequences. The Froime discussion turns to Christina's income. She initially reports making $30,000 a year from her retail job, but hesitates when asked about commissions. Under pressure, she admits to other side ventures, but downplays their profitability. The judge remains focused. No matter where the money comes from, supporting Karina is non-negotiable. Ms. Stone reveals that adding Karina to her insurance will cost $500 per month, bringing household insurance expenses to $1,300. The judge decides, Christina must contribute $325 monthly toward those costs. It's not just a number, it's a necessity. Christina seems shocked at the expenses, but for Ms. Stone, this has been the reality for months. With Christina's gross monthly income calculated at $2,500 and a net income of $2,146.92, Judge Vonda determines that her child support obligation will be $429. Combined with the $325 insurance reimbursement, Christina now owes $754 per month. She rolls her eyes, but the judge stands firm. Right is right, and wrong is wrong. The law doesn't cater to convenience. It ensures that Karina's needs come first. Before closing the case, Judge Vonda delivers a final, pointed message. You abandoned your child, and now you're facing the consequences. Ms. Stone didn't have to take on this responsibility, but she did, ensuring Karina was safe and cared for. Now, the court is stepping in to enforce what Christina should have done all along. In her post-case breakdown, Judge Vonda clarifies that Ms. Stone had every legal right to seek child support. Since she has been the child's primary caregiver, the financial burden shouldn't fall solely on her shoulders. While Karina's father can't be ordered to pay now due to his incarceration, the case can be revisited upon his release in 4 years. Until then, Christina is the one legally responsible. The lesson is clear. Walking away from a child doesn't absolve a parent from responsibility. The law won't allow it, and neither will the court.